What's up, YouTube? Today I will be making a video on the best tips and tricks in MXvsATV Legends that will help you improve and reach your max potential. The reason I'm making this video is because there are a lot of other creators on this platform that have made videos such as this one, and their videos kind of include misinformation or stuff that really won't help you, and they're kind of leaving out some tips because people will gatekeep and they don't want you to know every single tip. But coming from one of the best players in the game, and I'm not saying that to be cocky, I'm just saying that so you can take me as a reliable source on the information I'm saying. I will give you the best tips. Nothing will be left out because this game is getting old and none of it really matters. So first off, we're going to go over bike tune, then we'll go over settings, and then we'll get right into the tips. So first, the bike tune. Engine acceleration level 3. Top speed, you don't want that because top speed is when you're in 5th gear tapped out and you're never really using 5th gear in this game. Clutch boost, as you may know, clutch boost is the most important part of this game. If you're not clutch boosting, you're going to be left behind. Shift speed, what is even the point for that? Then chassis, you want to run flexible. Rigid, just look at the stats in the bottom left. Clearly, you don't want to run that. Suspension stiff level 3. And then some people run soft level 3, but let me explain why that is not the best suspension tune to run. Because when you're on soft suspension, your bike will kind of spring up into the air a little bit more and you will gain more air time. And an important part about this game is you want to be staying low to the ground. You want to be grounded. You are faster on the ground than you are in the air. And if you're getting more air time, it will only be holding you back. Tires. This is a very controversial one here as well. People run 3, 2, 1, maybe even stock, but I don't recommend any of these 4 over here. These are all great options, but I personally run grip level 1. I feel like it's that perfect point where you get enough traction and you can also slide enough to get into those tricky ruts and tricky corners. And we have brakes, hard level 3, because if you get into a sticky situation where you overjump a jump and there's a corner 5 feet in front of you, you won't be able to brake hard enough with soft or any of these. You want the hardest you can because it is always important. Now the settings, I run 100, 100, 100. On the dead zones, run smallest, but if you have stick drift where you're after you have a controller for so long, it will have some wear and tear on it and it will begin moving the sticks by itself without you actually touching them. You can go up to medium or large, but personally I run smallest. Reflex gyro on, max FOV off. As you can read, using this setting to widen the FOV can negatively impact performance and may introduce terrain morphing. It is recommended to have the setting disabled during gameplay. You can run it if you are a guy who likes to have that super fast feel in the game, but I personally do not. I used to, but after I turned this off, I got a lot better. And as you may know, camera is very important in this game, but not everybody can run the same camera. It is mostly personal preference, but I will be giving you guys my camera today. And then everyone throttle, auto disable at all times. Never run this on. This is probably the worst thing you can have on, and it will only make you worse. Unless you are super good at the game and you've kind of learned the physics. That's only for the top 0.0001%. And then controls, I'm going to go over these real quick. Have all this vibration and trigger stuff off. And then gamepad controls, I'm going to go over something. Let me go to custom here. As you see rear brake, that is X. Never use your rear brake. And I'm going to explain that right here. So when you're using your rear brake and you tap your rear brake, it is locking up the back tire. So essentially, when you lock up that back tire, you're losing all momentum, and all the power goes to that back tire. So once you lose all momentum, you have to gain it all back up. And this game is very momentum based, so do not touch this. It's a very bad habit, and if you have created that habit, try to break it as soon as possible, or it'll only make you worse. Only use your front brake. It's also known as brake on here. It's kind of the combined brakes. I don't really know the science behind the brake, but you know what I mean. Only use this L2. Let me turn that back on to custom. Wait, no, custom default. And I recommend using the sticks to shift, because if you are using the buttons, you will have to take your thumb off the analog stick, which will not give you the full control of the bike while you're riding. Alright, so let's get into actual tips in the game. And the first one I'm going to go off of is the most important, and that is clutch boosting. You want to be clutch boosting as much as you can. So I recommend about every half a second, wherever you can see you can gain a little bit of speed off the top of a jump, right when you land, just really anywhere you can see a little boost you can get. Out of the corner especially. See, out of the corner, you come into the corner slowly, then out of it, clutch boost, you can fly out of the corner. And that's why clutch boost is so important, and that's why I have the tune to clutch boost, because right here I've showed you that clutch boost is very important. if you're not hitting your clutch, look, you're just not keeping all the speed around the track. But once you hit that clutch boost, it's immediate momentum, very good acceleration. So yeah, I know it's not a very good thing to have in a game, but I personally like it, and I think it creates a skill gap among players. So yeah. So right when you land, right when you come off the tip of a jump, and then just anywhere you see you can gain a little bit of time. If you check in the bottom right above my speedometer, I am running kilometers per hour. Don't worry about that. But if you watch right there, that little red circle that pops up, and that is when I'm hitting my clutch. So kind of just take note of that. It is different for every track, the timing. So yeah. So again, to the second tip. This really isn't a gameplay tip, but this is something you can do that will definitely help you improve. It will take a lot of time, but if you want to improve, it is necessary. It's watching other players' times who are faster than you, and just kind of watching their gameplay and seeing what they're doing, because you have to learn the lines to these tracks, because there are fast lines on every track. And if you're not watching the fast guys or just taking notes of what they're doing, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck at a place where you don't want to be. So yeah, I recommend you watch fast guys. The best places are a Facebook group there's a Facebook group, and it's called MXvsATV Legends Community. That's where a lot of stuff is at. And then Instagram, of course, you can find anybody's Instagram page. And then YouTube, there is some hot laps posted on here as well. I recommend creators that go to Godly, Carmine, or A7X Forever. He is also known as Pickle. He is very fast. Carmine's very fast. Go to Godly's very fast, and they all upload videos on this game. So I recommend take note of what they're doing. And yeah, let's get into the next tip, and that would be manual shifting. You have to be in manual, and it's not hard at all. It's literally just and don't go off sound. It's all off pull, and it's all a visual thing. So if you feel like your bike isn't pulling anymore and whatnot, then shift up, and then if you're coming around a corner like this, hit second. Most of these corners you're going to be in second, but it's all something you have to learn and when to be in what gear. But yeah, it's all a visual thing. So once you see that your bike is not pulling enough, shift up. You kind of see it in the camera. So look, my camera is not pulling, but then once I shift up to second, you see how the camera kind of pulls back a little bit. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. It's all based off a visual, not the sound of the bike. I know it sucks, but that's just the way the game goes, and that's the best way to learn how to shift. And I recommend really you never really hit fifth in this game. Maybe on Unadilla, but nowhere else you were hitting fifth. So yeah, just take note of that. As you can see in the bottom right, it shows what gear I'm in. Second round these corners, and then when you're going to the second round of corner, it's not to get the engine power from second. It's actually just for the engine braking, because engine braking is also important. That is the best way to brake in the game. So yeah, just shifting down will slow you down a little bit. But most of the time you want to be in third. Third, you could stay around the whole track in third and be fine, but you really want to learn when to shift and the best spots to shift and whatnot. But yeah, if you just watch the bottom right, you'll see when I'm shifting and kind of what to do. You kind of learn off that and just use that as a base, and then kind of just start, you know what I mean, just work on improving when you're shifting and kind of maximizing out those gears. And then now we're getting to the next tip, and that will be when to brake and cornering. So look, when I'm never braking in the corner. So look, this is in the corner. When you're actually in the corner, you never brake right here coming out. The braking point is about 5 feet away from the corner, I'd say, or a couple feet away from the corner, about right here. You want to brake and then come to the corner kind of slow and jump out of it. And the way to jump out of it is using your clutch boost. It will help you get out of any corner, because corner entry is not that important, because if you're going to the corner so fast, you're going to eventually have to brake in the corner. So kind of slow through it and then clutch boost out of it. This is the most consistent way to hit a corner, and it is the way you will never crash. It may not be as fast as holding a whip through the corner, but I guarantee you 50-50 you are not going to make it to that corner. And also, if you're having trouble with corners, literally just point both your sticks as hard as you can in the direction of the corner. And 9 times out of 10, you will make it to that corner. I know it's like, yeah, of course you point the direction of your sticks in the direction of the corner, but you wouldn't really realize that you're not really doing that. You want to point them just as hard as you can in the direction of the corner. So right here, that wasn't really a good example, but right here, brake before the corner, clutch boost out, and yeah. And then another tip I'll be showing you guys is what to do in air and how to stay low. And this isn't really the best track for that. Actually, yeah, I can show you a jump. You're not going to be doing this on all jumps, but jumps where it's kind of just a straight line and, you know, kind of like that. Right there, I just did it a little bit. It's a hard thing to learn how to do, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be like, wow, this is game-changing. It will save you that little extra second you need on each track. And it is way faster than just the traditional scrub they teach you on this game. So let me go through the gate here and let me get to the jump. Let me shoot this down here. Alright, so here we are. Oh yeah, my waypoint here. So you come around the corner, and this is what you gotta do over the jump. You see that? That is a quick scrub. Let me show you one more time, and then I will tell you how to do it. There it was again. And now I'm going to show you a regular scrub, and just watch how high it shoots me up into the air. I was in the air for so much longer right there. It may not seem like that much longer, but it is a game changer when you're doing it over every single jump. And yeah, so now I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's basically you just do it the way it looks in the game. So you want to put both of your sticks down to the left. But the goal here is to put your right stick down to the left right before you put your left stick down to the left. It may sound complicated, but if you just listen a couple times, you'll be like, okay. So that's how you do it. And then just kind of just doing repetitions of it. Just learn how to do it. It's kind of a roll of the sticks, and it's very hard to get down. But if you just go over jump multiple times and you just keep putting both sticks down to the left, you will eventually get, and you're like, oh, that's how you do it. And it's all about timing as well. You want to do it right at the tip of the jump. So let me see when I do it here. Yep, right at the top of the jump. Not in the air, not midway through the jump. So right here. You want to do it right when you hit this part of any jump. And that is how you will be able to stay the lowest and scratch that second or second and a half off your lap times. And now the next thing I want to get into is starts. Starts are very important in this game, and it can make or break a race. So let me go to the starting line here. It's kind of tricky to get through all of this, but I don't really like these fences here. All right, here's a straight line, I guess you could say. So on the start, always first gear, you can see in the bottom right. And then don't do this, where you're holding your clutch and your gas. I know that's what you do in real life, but that's not what you do in this game. So the RPMs drop, and just hold your clutch. You'll be at about 1.5 or 1 3/4 RPM. And what you will do is, right when the gate drops, so say the gate drops right now, hit your gas just a little bit, and right when you hit your gas, let off the clutch. So, like this. No gas, gate drops. Just like that. And this is the best way to accelerate off a start, and I guarantee 9 times out of 10 you will get hole shot in just a normal public lobby against regular players, because of it. They don't know about that. It's just kind of stuff that, you know, not really gets told around the community. But yeah, that is the best way to do a start. First gear, hold your clutch, boom. And guys, that's really it. There's nothing else to the game that I'm really hiding. Because at the end of the day, this is just a video game. It's not a dirt bike video game. I know they have dirt bikes in it, but it's not based off dirt bikes, because it is just an arcade game. So it's all about just grinding the game out. And yeah, as long as you're playing about once every 2 or 3 days, just playing consistently will help you, and just learning the tracks and the lines, you will get better. And then just using these tips and just involving them in your game, you will get better immediately within the first 10 minutes. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and have a great day. And then one more tip here is bike selection. Use the Honda or the Suzuki. Don't ask me why. They are the best handling bikes. The Suzuki is a little bit on the heavier side, and the Honda is more light. So just depending on your preference and what you like, Honda or Suzuki, because every bike is the same speed, but they all have different aerodynamics / handling. So yeah, that's the last tip of the day, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and if you want any more videos in the future, just leave a comment below on what videos you would like. Peace out, and I hope you guys have a great day.